Satemangale, the Reverend of the Revolution. Welcome to your Daily Revolution. Today's topic: what will your life look like at the end? Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Tomorrow begins an incredible day of Shield Maiden Live. This is our deep dive immersion experience for powerful women who've always known they were different, women who've always had a desire to produce, to create, to lead, to make a difference. And one of the ladies who's coming in was sharing her thoughts about something that I had taught in one of our, what we call our pre-event training. It's called the Underground. You know, our people, our clients, they go through deep dive, about 15 hours of training before they ever show up. So when they show up, they've already got the information. We give them the experience. And there's a phrase that I had heard that I share, and I want to say this: rarely is anything that I ever share like mine. Now, there's a lot of people out there who are going to say, hey, this is mine. I'm like, all good things come from the master of good. And in my world, that's God. And there's a phrase that I heard once that said, your life will either be an example of what not to do or an example of what's possible. And I remember hearing this for the first time. And again, I was reminded of this concept from one of my clients who's coming into Shield Maiden Live this week. And I pose to you the question, based upon how you are living right now, what will your life look like? Will your family, will your children, will your spouse, will the people all around you who have known you, will they say, man, do not be like this person? Insert your name, right? Do not be like this person. Will they say that? Or will they say, man, I am so inspired because, insert your name, Setema showed me that anything is possible. Anything is possible. And I think often of people who live life and never, ever achieve. They never get over their victim stories. So in the podcast today, I want to share with you 3 things that will help you to become an example of what's possible, so that people would say, my life is so much better because I knew this person. Or in my case, I think my life is better because I met a man or heard of a man by the name of Setema. So 3 distinctions, and here they are. Number 1, which is principle number 1 in the 13 principles: the truth will set you free. I want you to know, until you get honest, until you get radically honest, nothing in your life is going to change. As I've led hundreds and thousands, probably nearing into the tens of thousands, people who I've worked with, coached, spoke to, directly impacted, this one principle is the game changer. The truth will set you free. Can you tell the truth? Can you be real about the facts? Can you be real about what is? Can you really identify reality? And not, well, that's his reality and that's his perspective. Look, truth, one of the greatest definitions that I know and that I speak and teach, is truth is things as they were, is things as they are, and as things as they really are to come. That's the truth. So anytime you want to start to get to transformation, just go back and say, am I telling the truth about what is? Am I truly being honest, real? Am I looking at things as they really are, not some version of a story that I'm telling? And if you can do that, that begins the place of mighty transformation, or as scripture that I heard growing up, a mighty change of heart. I know most people, they don't want to get to the end of their lives and have regret. No one wants that. No one wants to wake up in a prison, whether it be a literal prison or a prison of lies or a prison of mediocrity. Yet, how do people get there? They lie and deceive themselves. So, inside of your health and fitness, inside of your spirituality, inside of the one area of your life that you need the most help with, Are you telling the truth as it really is? Like things as they really are. That's the first distinction. Can you tell the truth? The second key distinction to help you really get some transformation, like really have a shift in your trajectory, is simply this. Are you willing to declare what it is that you want? Again, as my clients come through Shield Maiden Live or Man Wealth Immersion or ProRev Live, any of our programs where people come and they become leaders of leaders, they become powerful fathers and mothers and spouses, is clarity. Principle number 4 is clarity is power. How clear are you about the life you want right now? Do you know what you want? Do you know what you want your marriage to look like? Do you know what you want your body to feel like and to perform like, even as you get older? I was speaking with my mother the other day, and bless her heart, she looks like she's 45 years old, maybe even 40 years old. She looks great, and she moves great, and she's healthy, and she's a hard worker, and she's in her late 60s, mid to late 60s, and she said something. She's like, man, I just have to be okay with getting old. And it really struck me because I know that she's been clear about the life that she wants. She spends time with her grandkids. She spends time with her children, with me, my wife. She takes care of her karate students. And she's a leader of leaders. And I love this. And I love the fact that my parents came from the islands as immigrants, and they were clear. We are going to the United States of America, and we're going to give our family a better opportunity. I look at so often today in the landscape of living, and people are not clear. They don't know what they want. And if they do know what they want, they're unwilling to declare it. So I will ask them, hey, what do you want for your life? And they'll say something like, I don't know. No, they do know, and you know. But you're just unwilling to declare it because you're afraid. If you could tell the truth, which is principle number 1, and then principle number 4, get clear, like really clear. What do you want? Why does that matter? What do you want? Why does that matter? What do you want your bank account to look like so that it could fund the life that you want to have, so you could contribute and give back to society? And I had an idea this week in my organization. We have some good friends riding their bikes. They're like road bikes from San Diego to North Carolina for a fundraiser to raise water for these villages and places in Africa that don't have water. And I had the thought, I'm like, I would love to go raise $1 million. I'd love to have my company donate $1 million in 1 year, which would mean that we'd probably have to do 10 or 15 million to be able to give that back in charity. And really, like, I'm clear about that now. Like, it was a light bulb. It was a holy cause. It was like, I want that. You get to a point where I don't need faster, bigger cars. I don't need a bigger home. I love my home. I love our neighborhood. I love the people that I'm around. I love the people that I work out with. I love my wife and my kids. I love my work. I love it. And I'm clear. So now it just shifts to, what do I want? And now it's less about things, and it's more about being generous, more about contribution to the lives of other people, more about service. The third distinction is principle number 5, which is commitment alters everything. See, if you're not committed to something, it will never happen. And the default of not being committed is that you get a default destination or a default outcome. The default outcome is like 30% or 20% of what could be. Imagine that. If you have the capacity and the talent and the willingness to go make $10 million, but you make like $300,000 or $50,000, that's a shame. That's a damn shame, because you had so much, and it's because you were unwilling to commit. In our world, commitment is do what's required, do what you said you would do, act in spite of thoughts, feelings, emotions, and moods. Like, what in your life are you committed to? This is how you can tell. Just go look at your results. Go look at your body in the mirror. Go look at your cardiovascular, your stamina, your endurance. Go look at the intimacy in your marriage and the connection you have with your spouse. Go look at the bank account and what you make in your job. Go look at your lifestyle. Go look at how you travel. Go look at how you live. Go look at how you worship, how you play. That is what you are committed to. And if you say, Satem, I want something else, this is not what I'm committed to, I will say you will always get what you commit to. And if you are unwilling to make a greater commitment to do something that's required for something greater, you will always get what's default, like that default destination. And it doesn't have to be that way. So if you'll do those three things, and these are just 3 of our 13 principles. Number 1, the truth will set you free. What truth can you confront and tell right now that would allow you to move forward powerfully? What lie could you stop telling and believing? Number 2, what do you want? Why does it matter? And look at the big 4, physical, spiritual, relational, financial. And number 3, principle number 5, commitment alters everything. Where in your life today could you be more committed? Could you make a real commitment that would change your world? Get committed to something, it's going to alter it. And it always does, always has, and it always will. Do not get to the end of your life and say, God, I wish I would have. Do not get to the end of your life and have people say, he's a good example of what not to do. Do not be like him, or do not be like her. Be the example of what's possible. I promise if you'll be committed and clear about what you want because you're telling the truth, you'll live the most amazing life. And that is not some vain, repetitious, trite saying that I got off of Facebook or Instagram. That's the truth, and that's the life that I live today. And that, my friends, is the revolution. Siddhartha Mangala reminding you, if you're going to create a life of real, radical results, a life that you love, it requires you to get into a relentless pursuit and a ruthless commitment to pay the piper every single day so that you can get to the top of your mountains, where your prize, your promised lands, and every possibility that you've ever wanted is waiting, just waiting for you. The revolution has begun. Will you join us? I'm out. For more info on joining the revolution and living your greatest life of prosperity today, go to www.yourdailyrevolution.com and join us in waking up, turning your brain on, and prospering today.